Real talk. Let's talk about it.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Real Authentic Growth Podcast. I'm Harold. I'm doing this podcast to help motivate and help people grow, but also to help myself grow as I do the podcast with y'all. Today's episode is about fear factor. It's a quick take, so I hope you enjoy. And the question for today is, are you going to let fear stop you? All right, let's talk about it. Welcome back. As I mentioned earlier, we're talking about fear factor. Now, I don't know about y'all, but that was the show back in the day for me, man. I used to love watching Fear Factor. Even though I know I wouldn't have wanted to be on it myself, I used to love watching the people squirm and be like, oh my goodness, I can't do this, I can't do this. And then the ones that you least expect them to do it ends up usually getting it. But sometimes you had the ones that you be like, oh yeah, they got it. And once you see them, you know they got it. You know, and I wish they brought that show back. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wish they brought it back. But back to the topic at hand. So there's a acronym I like to use called FOF, which is fear of failure. So a lot of us, sometimes when we get afraid to do something, it can stop us and hindering us from being our best selves, but also doing what we feel we want to accomplish. For example, for me, a fear I've had for a long time is public speaking. So when it comes to talking to people I don't know, even sometimes talking in a large group of people that I do know, it can get intimidating sometimes. Like I can feel the nervousness inside me, and I start to like forget things, or I try to say certain things in my head. And I prepare for it, but yet when I say it, something else comes out. And I'm like, man, like I missed this, I missed that. And you know, sometimes that can really make you not want to do it again because of what happened before. So I was looking at LinkedIn, I believe, and it was a video I saw, and they was talking about fear. If it was an acronym, false evidence appearing real. So in other words, it's not really the case. It's not a fact. It's not something that this is going to happen if this happens. So it's false evidence. And it appears real to you. But until you actually see it for yourself, is it really a fact? Is it really real? Or is it something that we're making up in our head? There's a movie that I watched recently called Fear. It has a lot of good actors in it. If you ever watched Ghost or Force, it got Tommy and they. That's not his real name, but you know who I'm talking about. If you know, you know. So I'm not recommending you to watch it, but I enjoyed it for the most part. It got me a little bit because in my head, spoiler alert, I was thinking it was more so like contagious. It was like a contagious movie, like oh yeah, like COVID or something like that, and people dying from the disease. But it was way different than that. Okay, so yeah, it caught me off guard a little bit. It was more of a horror movie, honestly, but it was still pretty good though. One thing they mentioned in there though that I like is how they said, basically, if you believe it, then that's what kills you. But if you don't believe it, then it doesn't kill you. You just have to convince yourself that this isn't real, even though it seems so real to you. And that's how I look at it when it comes to our dreams or our goals or our inspirations. If you believe the negative more than the positive, that can kill your dream. It can kill your goal. It can kill your drive, your motivation, because you're believing the negative outcome so much more than what could possibly happen that you're not even willing to take that step forward. And we got to realize that a lot of times taking that step forward when you're afraid is how you grow more. That's how you get out of that bubble or that shell that's holding you back. You kind of breaking the fourth wall, if you want to put it that way. You're going past your limits. You're going out of your comfort zone. That's where growth is found mostly, through that fear. There's a quote by John Keats, which is an English poet. And he goes to say, failure is, in a sense, the highway to success, inasmuch as every discovery of what is false leads us to seek earnestly at the way is true. And every fresh experience points out some form of error, which we shall afterwards carefully avoid. What I'm getting from that is that in order to succeed, you have to fail. That's how you learn. You learn from that. That's how you learn from your mistakes. That's where that saying from. Learn from your mistakes. But there is a thing also that they say, if you're doing the same thing again, expect a different outcome, that's insanity. But learning from that past mistake is how you grow. There's a lot of times I can definitely say I've been down the road of insanity when it comes to doing the same thing again, expecting a different outcome, but it's the same exact result. And I had to realize, like, man, clearly this ain't getting us nowhere. We need to try something different. What happened the last time that made this not work? So that way, the next time I try it, we can tweak it a little bit to see, hey, maybe this is what I needed. And then you realize, oh, shoot, that's what I've been missing this whole time. Interesting. So I'm going to give you 3 ways to assess your fear. 3 ways to assess your fear. All right. Number 1, is this internal or external? In other words, is this something that you believe or something that you're feeling when you're about to do this, or when you even think about doing it, that's stopping you from going forward? Or is it external? Is it the outside world that's stopping you from going forward or doing what you feel like you need to do? Is it the people? Is it your environment? What is it that's stopping you? Is it internal or external? For example, for me, public speaking, that would be a little bit of both, honestly, because the external part of it was what would this person think? Will they laugh at me? Are they thinking, man, this guy's slow? Like, what is he doing? What is he talking about? Like, does he even know what he's talking about? Like, I'm lost, you know? Or is it the internal part, which is me, it would be the nervousness, the jitters, the trying to remember exactly what I prepared to say beforehand, and then not saying it exactly like that. So now I'm trying to make up for what I missed out on, which can make it even worse. Number 2, where does this fear stem from? Where does it stem from? For me, public speaking, the fear from that would be in school, basically. Just going in front of the teachers and the students, knowing that I really don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to do my best to give what I can. Reading from the slides and just people looking at me like, this is boring, you know? So that's where I felt like mine stemmed from. But also, I feel like it stemmed from me. You know what? We're going to talk about that later. We're going to talk about that a little break. I'm going to bring that up later on. Number 3, what are the pros and the cons? So, what's a pro that comes from you doing this? And what's a con that can come from it? So, a pro for me doing the public speaking would be just getting out there, helping people learn from my mistakes or just try to give the wisdom that I've learned throughout my years, which I mean, it's 29 years, but I feel like I gained a lot of wisdom from a lot of mistakes as well. The cons, just what's the worst thing that can happen, basically? Or also, what could happen if I don't do this? What is it stopping me from becoming, or what is it stopping me from doing? Who is it stopping me from reaching? Those are 3 ways you can assess your fear. From that movie I mentioned earlier, the fear movie, there's a scripture that they actually state in the movie, which I liked also. It was to combat the fear that they was feeling. It was supposed to be helpful whenever they got trapped in their fear. It comes from Isaiah 41, 9 through 10. I took you from the ends of the earth. From its farthest corners, I called you. I said, you are my servant. I have chosen you and have not rejected you. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So what I'm getting from this is you have nothing to fear if you allow me to guide you. If you allow God to show you the way. Because like he said, he will strengthen you. He will uphold you. He is with you always. He will never leave you. You are his servant. So if you're his servant, why would he allow you to go through all this for nothing? You may be going through a season where you feel pain, you feel fear, but that could be building you to move forward on something that you may feel afraid of. So just know God is with you through it all. You're not alone, and he's going to strengthen you. As long as you go to him, don't expect to do it on your own, because it's very hard to do stuff on your own. But that's what our mindset usually goes to first. Hey, I'm going to do this on my own. I can figure this out. We got this. Little do we know, we making it worse than it already is. So give it to God first, so that way he can show you the way to go. So remember it like this. Failure is never final. Most leaders will tell you failure is just another step towards success. So inventor Thomas Edison, when he was asked how he endured so many failures while creating what would become the light bulb, said, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. When they gave up. That's the key word. They gave up. Don't give up just because you tried this way and this way and it didn't work. Sometimes you have to do it a lot of ways in order for it to work. And then eventually you realize, oh, I did it. It was right around the corner. As soon as you give up, bro, you already lost the fight. You already lost the battle because you gave up. You wasn't willing to keep going. Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, you have to endure the pain sometimes. You have to persevere. You have to keep going. It's not always easy, but that's what makes you stronger, though. The hardest stuff is what makes you stronger, not the easier ones, because the easier ones, you're like, oh, I did that. All right, on to the next. The hardest ones, when you get past that, that's when you taste the sweetness of all the sweat you put in, all that hard work and time that you put in. That's success that you can grab onto and be like, man, I really did this. This took a lot of time, but I really did it. A lot of people wouldn't even do all this. But guess what? I put my work into it. I put my heart into it. I gave it my all. And this is the outcome of it. Don't give up. Keep fighting. Keep going. It'll come eventually when it's time. Now I'm going to give you 3 ways to push past your fear. Again, 3 ways to push past your fear. Number 1, figure out the root cause and work on it. What's the reasoning behind this? For me, at first I thought the fear of public speaking was me being afraid or me being nervous. But honestly, it was because I cared too much about what people think. And that nervous I had was really excitement. If you look at it a different way, it was really excitement. But the main cause, the root was caring about what people think too much. And once I let go of that, which I mean, sometimes you still care about that stuff and you still think about that stuff. But when I didn't let that hinder me or take me back from what I feel like I'm called to do, it made it a lot easier. Made it a lot easier. So figure out your root cause and work on it. Number 2, envision who you could be once you accomplish it. See the future you that actually took that step forward and work to becoming that person. Because that'll help motivate you also, because you know the possible outcome of it. When you don't know where you're going or headed, your drive and your motivation won't be as strong to get there. And number 3, do it scared, but with confidence. Do it scared, but with confidence. Sometimes you're going to be scared. Sometimes you're going to be nervous. I mean, when I get in front of people to talk, sometimes, a lot of times actually, I still get nervous. But at the end of it, people are like, man, you did a good job. You're really good at this. Like, you ever thought about doing this or that? And in my head, from my perspective, I was like stuttering probably. I felt like my voice was jittery. I felt like I was forgetting lines, but they couldn't tell. To them, I was confident. To them, my voice was great. I didn't have any stuttering or nothing. And when you watch back the videos of it and stuff, you'd be like, oh wow, I did good. So sometimes you have to do it scared, but do it with confidence, because nobody knows you're scared but you, unless you giving them signs that you're scared. So don't give them signs. Just remember why you're doing it, your purpose for doing it. Let your purpose drive you past that scaredness or that fear. Okay? Let that drive you past that fear. So remember those 3 ways. Figure out the root cause and work on it. Envision who you could be once you accomplish it. And do it scared, but with confidence. Let me ask you this. If there's one thing you could do that you're afraid to do, what would it be? And why do you want to do it? What do you feel like will be the outcome of it? After you figure that out, take baby steps to get there. You don't have to jump in all the way, but work yourself up to it. Because one thing I realized is what's worse than fear is regret. The thought of what could have been. When you look back and you be like, man, I wish I would have tried this. Who knows where I could have been, you know? At least if you would have did it, even if you did fail at it, at least you could know that you tried and you gave it what you could. You gave it your all. That's what counts most. So think about it like that. Would you rather have regret, or would you rather have fear, but with the understanding of, hey, I did it. I tried it. It either worked or it didn't work. I'd rather have the I tried it. The regret is lame, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Regret is whack, because it's like, why not try it? You don't know how long you have on this earth, you know? So do what you feel like you should be doing. As long as it's right, you know what I'm saying? Don't be out there taking my words the wrong way. You feel me? Don't take it in a negative. Try to make it more positive, okay? So do the right thing still. Do the right thing. All right. But take chances, take risks. At least you'll know that you tried. All right. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I hope y'all can join us next time on the Real Authentic Growth Podcast. I really want y'all to push past your limits and step out on faith. With that being said, I pray y'all have a blessed week. And remember, don't make excuses. Work through it. With that being said, I'm out.
Real talk.